Good morning, Vamoose. Hey, this is your host, Guy Moose. It's going to be with you this morning because we're this close to the weekend, so buckle up and get ready, all right? You got one more day at work. Why don't you go in there and work hard and, let's get at this thing and let's have a good weekend, all right? But before you go, got the last show of the week here. I want to make sure I hit something very important. And so I'm going to get right to the point. My quote really is from none of them but yours truly, all right? Now, somebody else may have said this, but I'm saying it to you today. So here it is. Truth can stand on its own 2 feet, all right? Truth can stand on its own 2 feet. It doesn't need anybody or anything to prop it up, okay? And what I mean by that is this. And I'm going to kind of take your... my news and my takeaway and my rant, I'm going to ball it all up into one, and you got to get the whole ball of wax, okay? So here we go. Buckle up. Here's the thing. You know, what I've noticed in our culture today is something like this. It seems like that people aren't able to think very deeply or very critically, right? So what they do is, let's say they're part of whether it's part of a certain, political party, a certain church, a certain, some sort of like cultural association. Maybe it's the race. Maybe they're part of a certain culture of that race. And it seems like they can't think outside of that box, right? So if the leaders of that particular group or the people who are prominent in that group say, oh, this is the way, if you're this group, if you're part of this group, this is the way you think, right? We see this all over the place. And once again, whether it's political, whether it's in church, whatever, no matter what, you see this happening. And the other people are like, well, that's crazy, this isn't true. You can see this isn't true, but because they're part of the group, they can't think outside of the group. And obviously, we're not here, once again, to just be rebels and rebels of thought and just like fight everything that comes on the pike and not be teachable, not be humble enough to learn something. But let me tell you, truth can stand on its own 2 feet. You let truth be truth, okay? So no matter what part of, what group you're part of, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, it doesn't matter. You should be a truth seeker, somebody that's looking for what's true, what's right, what's true in the world, what's right in the world, right? So you gotta look beyond just your group, what people say, and we're so easily led by, so-and-so, he's a really smart guy, he said this, so it's gotta be true. No, not necessarily. You look at it, you compare it, you do some tests, you should have some tests about whether ideas are true or not. Somebody says something to you, you see something, some kind of claim, oh, this is true, right? Well, you should do a few tests to make sure it's true. Who not just who said it, but how did it happen? What kind of proof do we have? How's this compared to other things I know are true? You should go, run it through some kind of filter before you just like, oh yeah, it must be true. Oh, it's all true. It's all true. Oh, so and so said it. Oh, my group says it. Oh, everybody believes it. We all should believe the Earth is flat. Did I make it true? No. There's still people like trying to come up with that. Have you seen that, kind of lately? People have been trying to regurgitate that old dead theory the Earth is flat. Listen, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out now with all the pictures we have from space. Even Joe Blow in his backyard shooting up a rocket with a camera on it. You can tell pretty quickly, the Earth is not flat, Bo. It's pretty rounded to me. So I'm just saying, people are crazy, but you got to be a thinker. You got to be willing to buck the tide of maybe popular opinion, what other people are going to think of you. Don't let your mind be squished by, somebody else's feelings or somebody else's opinions. Let truth be truth. It can stand on its own 2 feet. You go and search truth. You go look into truth. You go, try to, discover and investigate on your own. You're going to find truth standing there doing its own thing. It doesn't need somebody else, right? So, man, be a thinker. I want you guys to really be a thinker. Now, I'm telling you what, you be this way, you live this way, you probably won't be the most popular person, let me tell you. Not everybody's going to like you because you're going to challenge them. You're going to make them uncomfortable. Anytime you challenge in your core beliefs what you really believe down deep in your heart, you don't really like it. It makes you, you know, squeamish and a little uncomfortable. And I'm like, I don't know. It makes you scared. Listen, of course it is. Of course it's going to make you uncomfortable because it's going to make you change some other things. It might have to make you change your behavior. It might force you to change it. But listen, what would you rather do? Just be like, you know, a lemming, you know, an idiot walking off the cliff? Or you're going to be a person that stands up and say, no, that's true, that's right. I should change, you know, how I think about this and maybe even my behavior according to these beliefs. Yeah, so be that person. Be that person that looks deeper than just what everybody in the group thinks. Okay? So I'm sorry. I had a little bug in my bonnet or whatever you want to say, a fly in my fedora, and I had to get it out, right? I had to talk about it. Okay, I feel better. I got off my chest. I want you to have a great day. I want you to get out there. I want you to work hard. And then have a great weekend. You know, if you play hard, you should, if you work hard, you should be able to play hard and then rest hard, right? So I want you guys to have a great time, a great weekend. Thanks so much for listening to me. I appreciate everyone that clicks on that like button. I appreciate everyone that comes and has to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everyone that even views these videos. I know sometimes they be a little silly, a little goofy, but man, I thank you. I thank you for jumping in, being part of this journey, because that's what it is. I don't know where it's gonna go, but we're going. All right. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now I'm gonna vamoose, and you probably need a vamoose too. Here we go. Have a good one.